Okay, this drill is called feet up on the wall diaphragmatic breathing. You're going to position yourself with your feet hip width apart, toes straight up to the sky, knees at 90 degrees, hip crease at 90 degrees. Initially, you might want to lay something under your head to support your neck. Pillow would do just fine, an ab mat, an Eric's pad, because we're trying to make the neck long. So we're going to push the chin down into the neck. We're keeping our low back against the floor. Arms are relaxed to the sides. What we're going to do is we're going to take a breath, and we're going to start it with the stomach. Breathing out, we're trying to activate that brace. So we're breathing in for 3, out for 5. In for 3, out for 5. Try to resist pushing your feet into the wall. Just try to keep them lightly pressed against the wall. What we do want to do, however, is we want to drive that low back into the ground so we keep our spine neutral, which just means flat, it's natural curve, nice and flat on the ground. Okay, again, we want to tuck the chin down into the neck so we have a nice long neck position and we can more easily get air into the diaphragm. A few tips on the breathing. Put your tongue on the roof of your mouth. Separate your teeth. Lightly put your lips together, okay? That's going to help you draw that breath in through your nose. It's going to help open up your airway so it's not quite as restricted, okay? That is feet on the wall, diaphragmatic breathing. All right, the next drill we're going to do is heel taps. So you need a weight plate or a light kettlebell, somewhere around 10 to 25 pounds. We're going to get the same spinal position that we achieved with the breathing drill. Long spine, low back into the ground, nice neutral neck. We're going to hold the weight plate of the kettlebell over the chest. We're going to exhale our ribs down in position. Okay, from here, we're going to lift the legs up. We're taking a breath in. We're going to exhale, tap the heel. Breathe in, exhale, tap the heel. Breathe in, exhale, tap the heel. We're keeping the low back in constant contact with the ground. We're keeping our ribs down. We're keeping a good brace. And we're going to be doing 10 reps on each side. That's the heel taps. We're going to be doing 10 to 15 reps. You're going to start lying on your back. Long spine. Heels scooted toward your butt. Knees are going to be about 90 degrees. Toes are going to be almost straight ahead. Okay? So we're breathing in. Lifting up. We're going to exhale and squeeze your butt. Breathe in. Exhale. Squeeze your butt. Make sure those knees aren't buckling in. You don't have to drive them out excessively either. We want a nice flat foot position. Squeeze and hold at the top. That's the glute bridge. Next drill we're going to do is called the Spiderman Stretch. This is a great hip opener. Going to loosen up your hip flexors, which are a muscle that gets incredibly tight from prolonged periods of sitting down, okay? Which we're all subjected to at some point or another. So we're going to be in a big lunge. This foot's going to be way out in front. I would start with this back knee down, okay? You're going to have your feet about hip width apart from left to right. Both your hands are going to be on the inside of this leg, and some of you might feel more comfortable or might feel more of a stretch actually if you elevate your hands with a couple plates, an Eric's pad, an ab mat, or a foam roller, okay? So we're going to go fingertips on the ground. Inside of this leg, we're going to breathe in. You're going to flex your glute on this leg, and you're going to push into your hip. Give an exhale, okay? We're looking at the ground. Breathe in. Back off tension. We're going to breathe out. pushing into this hip flexor. You're going to feel a stretch in this leg here. You're going to feel a stretch in this hip big time, okay? This is the pace we're going for. We're moving in and out of the stretch. Never holding statically. And make sure that we use the breathing in every drill. We're going to get probably 8 to 10 per side. Called Scapular Raises. It's our first drill where we're trying to get the scapula, the shoulder blades and the upper back moving around the rib cage, which should be your anchor point. Okay, so you're going to be lying face down. You want your forehead on the ground. Again, you can rest it on an Eric's pad or an ab mat if you have one available. So we're going to go face down. You're going to start with your arms lying by your sides, shoulders relaxed, legs relaxed, and the upper back is relaxed. You're going to breathe in, you're going to squeeze your shoulders back and down. Hands will be off the ground. Okay, what we don't want to do is we don't want to arch the low back to help assist in that range of motion. We don't want to lift the legs off the ground, okay? We want to try to get all that range and control through the upper back, sliding the shoulder blades back and down. That is scapular raises. We're going to be doing 10 to 20 reps. Called bird dogs, lower half only. We're going to start in quadruped position. That's also something I call tabletop position. We have the knees under the hips. We have the hands under the chest. Spine is nice and flat, okay? That includes your head and your neck. So we'll be looking down at the ground. We got our stomach tight. And all we're going to do on the lower bird dog is we're just going to move the legs. We're keeping our top arms or upper torso, we're keeping that anchored. So we're breathing in. Exhales, we drive the leg back. I got my foot flexed. I'm keeping the foot low to the ground so there's no twisting or turning through the hips or the low back. Good. So a couple of points of performance on this drill. The rib cage, make sure it's not flaring up, okay? Make sure the rib cage is in and down. We got a good brace in the abs, keeping the foot low to the ground, okay? Make sure that you're breathing because it's easy when we're practicing these drills to hold the breath at first, okay? So always focus on getting that diaphragmatic breath into your stomach. All right, the next drill is called walkouts. So this is a twofold drill, okay? We're working on mobility and stretching out the hamstrings. We're also working on, again, getting the scapula to move around the rib cage, getting your shoulders, your chest, and your triceps to do a good amount of work, all the while working on core stability. So as far as a bang for your buck drill, walkout's definitely it. So based on the flexibility of your hamstrings, that's how wide you need to place your feet. You notice for me it's wider than my shoulders because my hamstrings are fairly tight. So we're going to take a breath in. We're going to exhale down. Take a breath in, exhale up. We're going to breathe in, exhale down. Notice I'm stopping with my hands under my chest. Back's nice and flat. Breathe in, exhale it up. Those we're usually going to do 8 to 10 reps. Again, taking our time, focusing on breathing, because if you can't breathe in that position, that tells you that maybe you're pushing yourself just a little bit too hard, or the position is too uncomfortable of a stretch. You might need to back it off just a little bit. That's the walkout. Okay, our next drill is called the wall slide. We're going to start off in the top quarter of a wall sit. Make sure your knees are over your ankles. Our knees are spread apart. Weights in your heels. Rib cage down. Okay, that's one reason we're doing the wall slide from this quarter wall sit position, is to keep the rib cage down as we bring the arms up overhead. Okay, so upper back, butt and head up against the wall. Arms are going to start Y. We're going to breathe in. Keep your hands as close to the wall. Breathe out. We're squeezing the shoulder blades down. Breathe in. Breathe out. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Keep the hands and elbows close to the wall. We usually get 10 to 15 reps on the wall slides. Okay, the next drill is called Deadbug breathing. We're simply going to statically hold a position. The goal being, keep the head, the upper back, and your low back even with the floor. We're keeping an abdominal brace, and we're breathing behind it. Okay, very simple looking drill, but this could be difficult for you to achieve at first. This is an awesome drill for the warm-up, but also inserted in between exercises like squats, box squat, or push-up, just to remind you where that brace position should feel like. So this is the static dead bug. You're going to lie on your back. Nice neutral spine. Hips, low back, upper back are all in alignment. Head's neutral, meaning the chin's pushed down. We're going to raise the arms straight up toward the ceiling, palms facing in. We're going to blow the ribs down. We're going to fill up with air. Knees at 90 degrees, feet flexed. And all we're going to do is breathe. Out for 5. In for 3. And as you can see, I'm shaking from the intensity of the contraction of my stomach. Okay, so we can hold that anywhere from 5 to 10 breaths. In for a 3 count, out for a count of 5. You can breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. If you're able to, try to breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. Doing some silent breathing in that position can also be really relaxing, even though your abs are still doing a lot of work. That is called static dead bug. Okay, the next drill is our level 1 leg lowering. Okay, this drill is meant to activate your deep abdominal muscles, your deep core muscles. It's also meant to help stretch out your hamstring, not through just stretching your hamstring. It's through more of an active range of motion. Okay, so the more you get that inner core turned on, you're going to find things start to loosen up. You may not actually need to stretch what you've been stretching. Okay, so we're going to be lying down on the back, nice neutral spine position. Start with both knees bent, and what we're going to be doing, one knee is going to be held to the chest. Okay, this is as far back as it needs to go so we can maintain contact with the hip and the low back on the ground. Other leg is going to start straight up. Notice I'm always kind of setting my ribs down with that exhale. Very important to most of these drills. We're going to breathe in, raise that leg up. Flex the foot. Okay, flexing that foot, get that leg up as high as you can, keeping it straight at the knee. Make sure that leg's not bent, okay, because then we're not achieving that active range of motion stretch. So we're going to exhale down. Only lowering that leg as far as we can, maintaining that low back contact with the floor. If that low back starts to come up or arch up, we know we've gone too low. Going to breathe in, we're going to exhale the leg back up. Anytime the leg's moving, we're on exhale. So we're going to inhale, exhale it down, inhale, exhale it up. That's our pattern. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Okay, make sure we do both sides. We're going to go for 10 reps per side. Again, if you need to put something under your head, to keep you from having the chin up position, chin down and in, nice neutral neck, a pillow, an ab mat, or an Eric's pad to be very helpful to assist your head and neck position. That is the level 1 leg lowering.